You cannot stop me, I'ma make it to the top spicy. Call a covenant, not cocky. You cannot break me, this world's mine for the taking. Got an itch, man, I'm making. Oh, I'll keep my head down and grind and be patient. I'll take a stab at the top and the sailing. They can all try, but you cannot contain it. Cause I see the things that I want and I take on my goals. Push myself to the brink, no limit. Do what it takes to be free, committed. I'm a little obsessed with things, I'll admit it, but that's what it takes.
He can't hear us, can he?
No, he can't.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, he can't hear us.
Yeah.
You're all right, Mike? You look a little worried today. What's wrong? What's going on?
I'm worried about Nicco. He's a nice guy. We met him at the school the other day when we did the DJ thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just worried about him. I don't think he's ready for this. I don't think he knows I think DJ's lost his mind putting him in there like this. He's not ready for this.
What do you mean? You know, Ross and Bradley, that's their first time in Combat Zone.
Yeah, but they're tough Philly street kids. You grew up with them. And they've done hardcore matches. And Mickey, she's been doing it for 20 years.
Mike, you were worrying too much. I think he's going to be okay, man.
Okay. You know, have you ever heard of the Mike Levy incident?
Yeah.
A guy that was in there didn't have any business being in there.
Yeah.
I was there. I'm still traumatized. And after seeing what happened to the body over the weekend, Schlack might even jump in there if he doesn't like what's going on. I don't like it. I don't like it. Look, don't you know any guys? Maybe we can get a replacement. Maybe one of your hardcore guys, or maybe even Delaware Assassin.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think he'll be ready. I think you're worrying too much.
I'm going to try to talk him out of it for his own good.
You know I can hear you, right? You're not talking anything out of me. All right?
Oh, you heard us?
Yeah, I've been hearing the entire.
I was just a little concerned for you, Nicco. You're a nice guy, and I don't know if you know what you're getting into. This junkyard. This is.
I know exactly what I'm getting into.
Okay.
Trust me.
You do. All right. Okay. All right. You just don't look like one of those tough hardcore guys. All right. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen from YouTube.
I mean, I don't. All right. No. All right. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. No. This guy's built good.
He's good.
All right. I'm just worried about you. You were so nice to us at the dojo, and I'm concerned. I just don't want you to get. I don't. All right. Never mind. All right. If you think you're good, I'm all right with.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm a switch, all right? I can turn it on when I want to turn it on, and I can turn it off when I want to turn it off, okay?
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
We might have to throw Mike in there.
Save some of that for Saturday for the show. All right, good. All right. You sold me. All right. I'm not worried about it anymore.
No, you're good now. You're good to go.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nicco, great. Thank you for joining us today. How's everything going over there?
Doing all right, guys. Thanks for having me on.
And thank you for putting us. We had some technical difficulties, but we're on here live and ready to go.
Come on. Every show's got technical difficulties. Let's all just be clear about it. All right. So.
Oh, absolutely. So where are you originally from? You're from Philly?
I'm actually originally from Reading, PA, outside of Pennsylvania. Kind of grew up in Philadelphia for like a good 3 months, and then moving back to Pottstown, PA. So I've been all over.
Oh, wow. Okay. I've been to Reading. I go to the Reverb. They have concerts there.
Yeah, I've heard of the legendary Reverb. I've never been there, not once. I think I've been there, but not technically, because there was like a barbecue restaurant across the street that I went to one time. So that was like my Reverb experience. So, but definitely would like to go there one time.
Okay.
So I known you for a while. We talked at conventions. We talk about deathmatch wrestling. I know you love deathmatch wrestling. I have to ask, what was your first introduction into the deathmatch wrestling world?
So I would spend my high school year just flying by, not giving a shit about anything, really. I mean, I would have a lot of free time on my hands since I would always do all my schoolwork. I'm like, okay. So we'll go on the computer and I just typed in, pro wrestling in Philadelphia. And the first thing that came up was CZW on Google and everything. So I just clicked on it. And then when I just saw the Nick Gages, the Adam Coles, the Sammy Callahans, just like it just opened a door for me for being a fan of indie wrestling and also igniting my love for professional wrestling again.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, God, what year was that?
That was 2011,
Okay.
and it was right around the time where I think they just started introduce CZW introduced the Wire Championship, and that's what actually won me to become a professional wrestler. And then when I just saw, oh, what's Tournament of Death, I clicked on like, holy shit, this is like not my dad's ECW, you
Yeah.
know.
Wow.
Oh wow.
I always like to hear about how people got into like even like CZW and things like that. Like, and now it's weird because I was going to CZW in '99,
Mm-hmm.
the old Mantua thing, and then I hear him like, and all these people that were like not in it, and then they did you go back and watch like some historical matches?
I try to time, but I really should get on that. I haven't gone back far. I think I gone back till 20 from '09. I still I think I watched the first Cage of Death pay-per-view on YouTube, and it was really crazy. And they're just doing this at 99, and it's crazy because then when I look at 99, I remember, the WWF and like the Attitude
Yeah, yeah.
Area, but they just took it to the next level and everything just on a smaller scale. So,
The feeling you get when you first saw CZW, I felt that way because a guy told me about CZW because I used to go to ECW, and he said, check out this thing. So I looked it up. This is '99. There's no handheld computers. You go on the computer at the library and you see these green words, and you're like, well, and I found it, and I found the address, and this guy goes, it's this cage match. It's going to be really good next week. I'm like, all right, I'm going to take your word for it. So I looked it up, and it was so hard finding the place because it was a dirt road, and I kept passing it by over and over. Finally, I pulled down a road, and it was way down there, no lights, and I found it, but it was tough to find shows back then. And then I was blown away. It was like the first, Nick Gage, Zandig, Wife Beater, Rick Blade, all those guys. And I was blown away. And I'm like, this is for me. I got to be here every week. And I just kept going all the time.
It was
nice.
Yeah, so I can relate to what he feels.
It was good. It was definitely something different.
Yeah.
So let's back.
Oh yeah.
Let's back up a little. You
Okay.
said you said you stumbled on the CZW. Now before that, were you a mainstream wrestling fan?
Yeah, I was mainstream, WWE, TNA. I actually, when I was in high school, I actually preferred TNA more than WWE because it's like, they had better women's matches, number one.
Oh, yeah.
Number two, it was like different and exciting. And it just, even though at that time it was like not somewhat bullshit storylines, like they were starting to get there, but it was still better storylines than a freaking, WWE storyline at that time. Oh, let me spill coffee on someone, and then suddenly I'm in a feud where it's in TNA. Hey, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you for. I'll do whatever it takes. I'm like, fuck it, let's go. Like, yes, like this is why I won. So, and then Vince Russo happened, and it's like.
Oh yeah. So growing up, who'd you look up to?
Wrestling wise, growing up, mainstream or indie. So there's a lot. Mainstream, it was The Undertaker first. Then it got to when I got older, it was like, oh, The Miz. The Miz was actually my inspiration. But then when I switched over to like watching more independent stuff like CZW, House of Glory, Sami Callihan was my like, okay, if this guy can, I was a fat kid when I was younger. If this guy can lose like 150 pounds, I tripled that. I lost 280 pounds and I became a wrestler. It's just like
you lost 280 pounds.
Yeah, I was
What?
yeah.
But you're built very well. I mean, you're built really good.
That's just like fitting it out and everything. But yeah, I was a fat kid when I was growing up. So like I was pushing like 300 when I was 12.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, so you grew into, all right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. You
Yeah.
didn't lose it. You didn't lose it recently. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah.
He seems like in good shape. You're like one of the well-built ones in this dojo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I I'm a husky guy. I don't mind it, but still, it's like I would like to be 6 feet and just complete it. So
No, you got good size. You got good size for wrestling. Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think we met a few years ago at a convention. I think we were just talking about CZW. Now I know you love CZW from the start. I can't remember if you had started training or not, but tell us about your first day. You know, how did you get to the school? What led you to the school, and how was your first day there?
So
How did you contact the school? Like when you like from the beginning? We always like to hear the story. Like from the beginning, you call up.
so originally I went to the Jakara Wrestling Factory.
Oh,
That was mistake on number one. So and it while I was there, it just wasn't for me. So then a week, so then Jakara done. 6 months pass. Then all the guys I met at Jakara were now at CZW.
oh, okay.
So then I contacted them because I was still in like trying to like hang out with them and being in contact. I'm like, hey, when can I get a tryout? And it was literally the next day after I just came back from New York Comic Con. So I literally went on that Monday. I did bear crawls, I did army crawls, I did like every military like tryout what they did. And yeah, after that, DJ says, I see something new and I think you would be a good fit here. So it's
Oh,
like, damn. And then I met a couple of new people there, really nice guys. Like that crew back then, back in shit, that was 6 years ago. That was 2016, I think. I can't remember, but
yeah. It sounds like
I was was crazy. So yeah, and after that I trained for a year and then after that 1 year I started Dojo Wars.
yeah. Right, right. I saw that. Yeah, yeah. A lot of dojo wars.
And that was 2018, right? I believe.
Tw Beginning of 2018, like right around the end of 2017 and the beginning of 2018. Yeah.
Okay,
And that's good. The dojo wars are good because the original CZ to school didn't have the. I mean, you trained and wrestled. It was hard to get in. You know,
oh yeah,
the dojo is like helps you get in there. Yeah.
absolutely. And you started off with, I believe it was the meat bag gimmick.
Yes.
How did that come
Yeah, I know
about?
what that was.
So basically, it was just like, hey, you're going to be a part of a sinister group. And what was the first name that you can think of? So I'm like, Meatbag, because Aaron Ash kind of, my first match was with Aaron and he kind of just tossed me around, hit me as hard as he can. I'm like, okay, so I'm Meatbag now. And, that's how it came about. And it was actually I got the name from a Batman animated movie where the villain, not Swamp Thing. It was like one of Poison Ivy's minions or like one of the villains she teamed up with, and it's like he called humans meatbags. So I'm like, okay, so he's tossing me around like a bag of meat and everything. And that's what I thought of. Everybody's like, oh yeah, he's just beating his name. I'm like, innuendo and everything with
You
that
look more-
name.
Yeah, you look more like a Nicco Gray.
Yeah,
You look like yeah.
Thanks.
I didn't like it. I saw it.
It was supposed to be a 6-month thing turned into an almost 2-year thing. So I'm like, I was so glad to get rid of that name too.
Well,
oh wow. we got to do 10 with the lives with these zones. We do 10 minutes, and then just a heads up. Every 10 minutes, like every hour, I have to change. You know, the links.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That yard stream thing.
Yeah,
is good.
the
I
yard
like
stream,
that.
you
I like
can
that.
keep going for a while. So yeah. Anyway, walk us through your first match. You go there. Did you know you were leading up to your first match? Did you know you were going to have your first match that day, or did you just show up and they're like, "We're putting you in the match"?
So at this time of that of like booking everything around, I just showed up, and then it was like, oh yeah, he's not ready, he's not ready, he's not ready, he's not ready, he's not ready. And I had like, every first wrestler's gear, you go to Hot Topic and you get the pants and like a muscle t-shirt and everything. So I'm like, that's what I did and everything. So I would just sit there. I'm like, hey, am I ready? And then, I proved over classes. I'm like, yeah, we're going to throw you in there with Aaron now. So I talked to Aaron, and Aaron just basically said to me, I'm going to punch you and you're going to sell. I'm like, cool. And I messed up the very first try, and he knocked the wind out of me. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep selling everything. So, it's first match, it was a first 5 minutes match and everything. So just to, work on my selling and then just getting the feel of it. And then over time, I got better and better and better. So, that was it.
Did you learn in the school? We'll go back to schooling. Did you learn a lot about because we always talk to people about the etiquette, the know your position in the locker room, the younger guy listen, did they teach you a lot about that? Like the like don't do this, don't be what I mean, all the ins and outs of acting right, not being a goofball in the dressing room.
Yeah, they did teach us a lot about that too, because it was at the time where it's like you go around, you shake everybody's hand, you just I learned from Jimmy Jacobs, mouth shut, ears open. And that would always be the number one rule from him. And then everyone else follows suit. I was literally the quiet guy when I first came to the school. Like, I would just sit in a corner and just be like, just listening and like, and people watch and everything, until Nate and Dave kind of pulled me out of that corner and actually be social. And now I won't shut up now. So,
that's what I always understand. It always gets me. Like, when you allowed to do I mean, they like shut up and be in the corner and don't sit and don't get in that guy's chair and just listen to what they say. And you're like, can I talk now? No. Well, when can I? Like, and then you're like the locker room guy that walks in, messing around, and stuff. But yeah, and then you're like, but the new guys, it's like, when do you cross that line of where you're one of the boys?
Oh my God. Especially with the new guys today, and they think they're gonna get a WWE contract like within the next day. I'm just like, looking around like, the fuck. So I'm just it was a lot different 6 years ago when I debuted. So, but it's crazy.
I know. Yeah, it's.
And then when you try to get a word in, like to like, hey, let me give you this advice, just do this, and they won't shut up, and they'll talk over you because they don't want to hear about it, which is like nuts.
Oh, yeah. This is what do what do you call it? Not the millennials. What's the newest group? The newest group out of high school. Huh?
Gen Z.
The Gen Zs. Yeah.
Let's not talk bad about it.
What is it? 20-year-old? Yeah. Don't take their phone from them. They got feelings. Feelings don't make me emotional. I don't want to be.
My brother.
Huh?
I seen it through my brother and his friends, and just being around them, it's like, you guys would never survive like 20 years ago.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, he deals with them all the time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
We're 10. He just turned 20, and I'm gonna be 30 in September. We are 10 a 10-year age gap, and it's not like they wouldn't survive like growing up in the 90s too. Like,
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, it's sickening. That's our future.
That is
Don't get me started.
That crazy. Yeah. Let's get back on topic, buddy. Let's get
don't,
back-
see,
Yeah.
don't get me on those millennium.
Yeah,
like, what are they? Gen Zs?
The Gen Zs. The Gen Zs.
What's the one below that?
Oh,
The bottle baby.
I don't even know at this point.
They're going to get a new group, and it can't be any worse than what the new group is. I mean, can you imagine? What we gotta wipe their butts until they're like 15. They don't want to get their hands dirty.
It's crazy.
All right, don't get
crazy time we
sorry.
live.
Get me all worked up with these generations.
Early on in your career, you wrestled Blackwater, CZW Wire Champion. How was your how'd you feel about that match?
Honestly, Blackwater is like one of my favorite people to work with. I liked it. He was kind of like the first guy to be like, hey, let me, take this guy under my wing and everything, and just be like, oh, he thought it was really funny to hit me with the kendo sticks many times, and the way I sold his shots, he thought it was funny. So, but no, Blackwater is a good guy. The match that I had with him the first time, I was kind of disappointed in myself. And then he's like, hey, do you know what you did wrong? I'm like, I did this wrong, this wrong. Okay, did you know what I did wrong? And then I kind of looked at him like, what are you talking about? And he's like, no, try to, what did I do wrong that do you think like we kind of both fucked up? And then it was like, well, we did this wrong, you did this wrong. And he's like, exactly. So he was kind of teaching me like how to put a match together and to memorize what kind of fuck ups that we both did that we could save down the road of like, okay, we did this last time, let's do this and make it better. So it's just trying to make like a match together and kind of sorry. Again, too many chair shots to the head.
It's an art form. It's an art form.
Just learning about your mistakes and then just keep moving forward with them.
Absolutely.
But no, I wish Blackwater was still around and everything. He was great.
Oh yeah, he's a cool. Always a big fan of Blackwater. With his own wrestling stuff and H2O stuff. Just like this gimmick. He's a funny guy. He's a cool dude. I still talk to him from time to time. Bump into him.
Everything I was, being like the psycho and everything, but no, this man comes out and like freaking likes dancing to Latin music in the ring, and he's trying to get me laugh. I'm like over at the ring corner, just covering my face, trying not to laugh and no sell it.
Oh God.
How did you like working with Jay?
I liked working with Jay. It's been a while since that happens, but no, I think Jay's a really good guy and everything, and I can't say nothing but nice things about him.
Okay, good.
I have no idea where he is at though. So
okay, how about Fredo Majors? Do you know him?
Nah.
No, okay. I know he teamed up with him a lot, and I know Fredo did train a little with CZW, but I don't know if you were there when he was training or he was probably going by then. So early on, you also worked with MC Hardbody, who's now currently XPW guy. Hardbody.
I love that fucker. I love that fucker so much.
I know he's a character. We love him. He's just always in everything he does is interesting. But you don't want to do anything he does. we live through him.
Man, that I'm so happy. Even though if he comes back to CZW, cool. Then me and him can tear it up some more. But I'm so glad he's gained the opportunity at XPW. Like seriously, that dude works his ass off.
We interviewed him. Check it out.
All right, I'll check that out and everything.
Yeah, he talked about Mexico. It was pretty good. We had him under control.
No, no crazy spots on stream, huh?
No, 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 no,
nothing
no.
crazy.
No, we didn't even have to take much out, just a
No,
little
yeah,
bit for his own well-being. Yeah.
Early on, you also got to work with Kid Osborne. How was that?
Kit was he was kind of on the way out with CZW and everything. Nah, Kit actually, he's one of those another one of those guys that kind of taught me, showed me the ropes and everything, and just on how everything works and everything.
Oh, good.
I was also, besides the whole, while I was there, I was learning under Preacher and DJ a lot. But then I would also get guys like, Kit Osborne, Blackwater, and just like little by little, and then it became the rep Foley just like pulling me aside. Hey, this is what you should have done. You did great at this, though. And just giving me feedback and everything too. And I always take feed as much feedback as I can get. If it's good feedback, bad feedback, criticism, good criticism, everything. I just want to learn as much as I can with it too. So, because I want to get good and I want to get signed.
Yeah, I have a curious question. I wouldn't do this, but what if a fan, like who's not a professional wrestler, saw you after the show and said, "Hey, you know what? That thing you do, it doesn't look good," or like, you see somebody do something. Like one thing I hate is the clothesline that goes over the guy's head. Oh, you didn't do that, did you?
No.
You're rubbing your eyes like no. But let's say somebody told somebody told a wrestler that as a fan, said, "Hey, I've been watching wrestling a while, and what?"
I've seen other wrestlers do it, and like they have been in the business for like God knows how long years, and they still do that. It's a huge pet peeve of mine, and and half of them are on AEW doing that.
Yeah. Don't mention names. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. So if somebody, what would if a fan said that to you? Let's say not that you're doing that, but let's say they said something like, let's say you did do that, and the fan said, "Man, when you do that clothesline, you're going way over a guy's head." What would you say to a fan? Now, if another wrestler told you that, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, I got it." What if a fan told you that? What would you say?
I think you're seeing bullshit.
Oh,
It's like, really? Because the last time I saw you, you were looking down at your phone.
okay, all right.
Okay.
I've sometimes felt like telling a person, but I don't do it. I don't. I know my role as a non-wrestler, but I don't know.
Like, you're at a wrestling show and you're on your phone and everything. Like, that's my one.
Oh, I don't do that. No, I don't do that at all.
Yeah, I know, but if it's like, it's the middle of a match, you go up to go, like, you can tell which matches are like, I'm kind of hungry. I'll go get something at the snack bar, or I can really take a piss at this match. So, and like get up and everything. But yeah, it's kind of like one of those instances. So,
No, I don't do that. I watch all matches. I don't care what it is. And if it's not if it's two guys that aren't good, I'm kind of getting a kick out of that too, almost. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because then you can say out like, or you could be like, hit him with this move.
yeah.
Because I kind of did that when I was at wrestling. I was still going as a fan. I said, hit him with a spine buster. And the guy looked at me like, what? Like, like
Does that annoy you? Can a fan get under your skin? Let's say he just says, "I just want to mess with this guy. I don't even know him. I'm just gonna like just say stupid things, like just yell out dumb stuff, and you can hear it." Can that throw you off, or what?
I do mess with fans because they don't know what I'm gonna do after that. because before when I used to wrestle in PA a lot, because of, like local shows and everything. And there were a couple of fans that would yell, "Oh, hey, you suck," and everything, blah blah blah, until I literally said, "Okay, get up." And he's like, "What?" So I get out of the ring, take the guy's chair, thinking I was going to hit him with it, and the guy's like, "What did I get myself into?" Turn around, just threw it at my opponent, and then just look back. And I'm like, "Are you gonna sit? Are you gonna tell me to do my job now, or do you want to do this as my job and everything?" And I just kind of like had that while the match is going on, having that conversation with that fan, like, "Don't tell me how to do my job. All right, so if you want to do that and everything, let's see you do it."
Oh wow, I bet he shut up real quick, right?
Yeah.
I never mess with wrestlers.
Sometimes fans go overboard. Sometimes they try to get over. I see it every day. Fans go there, try to get over. Like, just let the wrestlers perform, do their
Oh
job,
yeah.
through the show.
Yeah.
But you
You
see,
do need-
it's
you
the
got-
nature of the wrestling. See, we're not talking about the U.S. Open Golf Cup in Augusta, and we're not talking about Wimbledon, and we're not talking about the Polo Grounds. We're talking about indie wrestling fans. You know what I mean? So it kind of goes with the territory. You know what I mean? You're like,
I will say this: indie fans are a different breed than the mainstream
oh
fans.
yeah.
My my cousin, her husband actually works for WWE, and he would always get us tickets like to go to the shows and whatnot and everything. And me and my dad went to the Raw 30th show in Philly, and I just walk in and I'm like, and I just look around, I'm like, I can't believe I was this much like of a fan, because they're all like hyped. Yeah, yeah, let's go, let's do this, let's do that. There were people going around doing the whole scissor me daddy
Oh yeah.
at a WWE event. And I'm like looking, and I'm like, I can't believe I was once one of these people. So it is a very different breed and everything.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, those guys. The indie fans are educated and they like it. You go to a AEW or a WWF, they're bringing belts. Like, why do they do that? What, they buy a belt, which is okay to buy a belt,
Yeah.
but to lug it to a show, like you see the person, like, I know you bought that belt. All right, yeah, you bought the belt. Like, what if I bought like a damn Stanley Cup trophy and brought it to the hockey game? Like, oh, I got the trophy. I'm Stanley Cup champ. Like, I don't know what goes in their mind, man. Some of them got 2 or 3 belts.
Some of the Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Some of them come with like 5 or 6 belts on them, and I'm not exaggerating. I've seen a guy with 6 belts on him.
The most I've seen somebody carry throughout like a AEW or WWE event is 7.
Oh wow.
No, I've seen it.
7,
I've seen it, yeah.
It's crazy.
I know.
They love it.
But what are they thinking? You almost want to pull the guy over, like, okay, what do you do? Why are you lugging all these belts to the show? I don't know. I don't know how much you'd have to pay.
They're trying to pick up girls.
At a WWE event, maybe single moms, but girls.
There are some single moms.
There are, yeah. Oh yeah, there are.
Yeah.
Oh geez. Good times. Good times. So I wanted to talk about Jordan Oliver. You tagged with him at one point. I think that was when he was the Wire champion. How was that?
Tagged and almost won that fucking belt too. But 1 second away. Jordan is an interesting guy. So it was kind of like a personalities clash, but yet at the same time it worked. Because with me and Jordan, he was like the high athletic guy. Oh, I can do 20 flips in a row, and me like, I'm gonna knock you out until you are bleeding on the sidewalk. But yeah, it was fun teaming with him. And then once I was in that scramble with the wire title on the line, all bets were off. Like, motherfucker, I'm gonna win this belt. But you know.
I liked him. I saw something in him when he was way back. I definitely saw something. Another guy said, one of my buddies said, "Nah, I don't say." I'm like, I don't know. I just something about the way he carried himself. I don't know what it was, but I get that weird feeling. I've had that with different guys in CCW, and some of them made it big. I don't know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, Jordan's a good one. And then you also had a one-on-one match with him for the wire title. What was your thoughts on that going into that match, being as that was your favorite belt, when you got into training and all that?
At that moment, I'm like, I'm gonna win this belt, and then even if it's like, if I retire like the very next day, I would be happy. Like, just winning that belt, I'm like, okay, I had my fulfillment. Now I could just be a fan again. But no, it just kept getting. I'm like, even though I didn't win it, I'm like, oh no, we're gonna keep going until I make it big time. But no, the match with Jordan, I was kind of like my first ever hardcore matches too, and I liked it. So I just wish they would post more stuff on that too. But apparently the files have been lost of time and everything too.
God.
Oh no, that happens sometimes, and it's annoying.
Dude, the one match I had with Gabriel Sky that was like my best match in my first year of wrestling. I wanted that match and like be like, hey, let me use this like to get like other bookings and whatnot. And that was lost. And that was like lost in the files and it'll never see the light of day. And I was so pissed at that too.
Oh,
It doesn't exist anywhere?
The original bookers from Dojo Wars kind of deleted the files.
Oh God, that's too bad.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Backed up. Oh.
So okay, well, now want to get into the real business here.
We're gonna talk about the real stuff.
Okay, so I saw on your thing on your internet. Let's get this party started, and it's time for some new blood.
Twisted Metal.
Yeah,
the disaster.
Twisted Metal. Now we saw you at the dojo the other day, and thank you for everybody was so good. And I'll tell you what, that CZW, I didn't know it was that nice. They got a big room, they got a weights, they got exercise equipment, plenty of room, nice little lounge office area. I was impressed.
Mm-hmm.
I like it, like a little. I want to hang out. Can I hang out there?
Yeah. So like a WWE training facility.
Yeah.
Indie version. Indie version.
Yeah, and he put a lot of work into it. It's a good place to. I would like it if I walked into it. I'm like, this is decent.
Oh, we were amazed. We were amazed. Me and my wife, we were like, wow, this is.
Yeah, everybody was really nice to us. But and then the next day, you're announced for this Twisted Metal show.
Yeah.
Did you know when, or did you just find out, or you don't know? Or
I actually known for a while, like 2 weeks ago. Like they said, "Hey, you're gonna be a Twisted Metal." I'm like, "What?" So, and no, I'm pretty excited about it. I've been working my ass off for this for 2 years now. Like COVID was like my official no more games.
Oh yeah, I hated that.
I'm all in on this, and I'm just like, I will be patient, work my ass off. Look, and I was supposed to debut at TOD 18. So, and that was then COVID happened. And then, yeah, I had 2 years to like work out, get better and everything. And then when we came back, I started to do more main shows and everything. And I was really happy about that.
Yeah.
And then the next step is with Ultra Violence and everything.
Wow.
I don't want to be just in one slot. I want to be, hey, I can do Ultra Violence, I can do TLC matches, I can do cage matches, I could just regular wrestle, do scrambles. I want to be used in multi matches and everything, and not just stick, oh, this guy's a death match. I you're just gonna do from death
Oh,
matches
like
from now on.
like Nick Mondo, Devin Moore.
Akira,
Huh?
Akira, he's actually was the one I talked to about, hey, what do I have to do to not be stuck in deathmatch wrestling, because I also want to do regular wrestling too. And he's like, just do both. Always get booked in both. So it's like, hey, if you
Okay.
don't have this regular booking, you have a deathmatch booking. If you don't have a deathmatch booking, you have a regular wrestling booking. So
Right,
just be
right.
consistent at two.
And you live in a good area on the East Coast. So, but this is unique because we're seeing a guy who is making his like debut in a big high profile show. This is high profile. Everybody's talking about it. And he's never been in this type of match. So we're like, everybody's like, and maybe told him, I said, we're interviewing a guy before his first death match, ultraviolet, whatever you want to call it, and junkyard, you know, and high profile. So you're in a good position here.
Yeah, I made it my mission to introduce some new blood to CZW. I want to be the first guy to ever do it, because if we're under this new regime and we call it the Renaissance of tradition, and if you look at it too, you have Griffin McCoy and Aaron Ash. In your singles, you have Vinny Talata and Miami Mike, the guys that brought the tag team back in. But who's the fourth pillar in that new CZW regime? And there's an ultraviolet slot that's empty. And I want to be that guy.
Wow.
Oh,
okay. There's no forcing this guy into the show. Like, we need a guy. Come on. Anybody want to do it? No, you're like, okay.
I'm literally the only one that wants to do it.
All right, good. All right, you want to do it, but we want to see it, man. So you're in a match with two guys and Mickey Knuckles. This is a high profile match on a high profile show. I'm excited. I've been talking about it. I mean, I can't wait till I want to get there. And I mean,
for a company that broke out guys like Chris Cash, Danny Havoc, Nick Mondo, you know what I mean? It made deathmatch legends. You know, Nicco Great could be up there.
Yeah, well, you're on a CZW show. That look, there's a lot of federations out there, but none of them have the lineage of CZW. IWA Mid-South came before it, but active right now. CZW still got the name. They're running Tournament of Death and this one, and they're going to do the Cage of Death. So they're back on the mark. I'm excited. I can't wait. I can't wait. Yeah.
So tell us what's your opinion on your opponents? You have Chris Bradley, Christian Ross, and Mickey Knuckles. Like those are some big names. Those are some, I personally be intimidated by them guys. What's going on in your mind?
Well, Christian Ross and Bradley, I've known those guys for a while. I seen them like up in New York. I seen them up and down places where I've been at. They had head start, before me, but that's not going to stop me from catching up to them. And if you look at it, all three of us are facing probably one of the faces of Mount Rushmore and women's deathmatch wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's no doubt about it. So,
yeah.
There's no argument there.
She would be in it. She would be the right there up there. Yeah.
She'd be the first one. She would be the first one. No doubt about it.
Her. Yeah, she'd be on it. All of them. These girls are going nuts. See, we knew Mickey. I was at Mickey's first match, and it was on a IWA Mid-South TOD. No, King of the Death match. And she wrestled her first match. Somebody power bombed her, hit her head on the back of the chair. So anytime I see Mickey, I said, I'm the only one that's been to your first match and the last match you've had. So there's always that gap. Like nobody, but she's good. And it was controversial for her to do her first death match and being put in the tournament years ago. There was no women doing this. None.
And she's the only woman to ever be in Tournament of Death. She was in the first woman and the last one to ever be in it.
Yeah,
no
she's
other
been-
woman
yeah.
have ever competed in Tournament of Death.
She might be the first woman to enter in Tournament of Death too. I don't know for sure, but she can come back and be like, "I want that fucking trophy, bitch," and everybody would love it.
And if
So-
she won it, it wouldn't even be an upset. She's one of the toughest human beings in
She's so
them
tough.
locker rooms. Yeah, she's tough. And tell them about the last time you seen her.
Oh
With
yeah,
the-
we
with
were
the-
gonna do this dinner. We did these. We had to started doing this.
I know what you're talking about. I seen the freaking light tube shard. Like it was this big or that big, and it was
Yeah.
in her leg.
It was
Right,
ridiculous.
we saw it. So we didn't do the dinner. She was going to go. We were supposed to do this lunch with Mickey before your CZW show, and then she couldn't. She was in the hospital all night. So then the dinner got canceled. But I went with my buddy Adam, and we met him up in Bob Evans, and he had people that already gave him stuff to sign. So she was cool about that, and we were going to do the dinner later time. But she had this big piece of glass, and she was still thinking about trying to get the CZW. And they're like, no. She's like, I want to go. I want to go back up there. I don't want to be put out like that. She was, she might have been able to do it, but they didn't want her to do it because she had such a big.
Yeah.
She was bad. But then she was up and around wrestling in 2
Yeah,
weeks.
in 2 weeks. She was in
But yeah.
God.
with Murdoch.
Yeah.
You can't put her down. You can't hold her down. She's
No,
Like a
she's
tough-
still she's that crazy to wrestle after that, and against Ruthless Lala too. Just to add on to that, yeah, and that match was gonna be like, okay, who are we taking bets on this? So
Yeah. So she's in it. And then, so you're excited about, I don't know what match this is going to be, but this could put you over the edge, and other companies will want you maybe to do a tournament, or I don't know. Would
Yeah,
you be up for that? Like, are you up for it tournaments?
okay, so I have a goal of tournaments I want to win. You gotta go with TOD up
Okay.
top, number one.
Number one.
Number two, Hardcore Kingdom
okay.
from H2O.
Okay.
Number three is kind of like open for me. Like it could be out in the Midwest, it could be on the West Coast and everything. Yeah, so that's my number 3 slot. So like 3 tournament trophies in the US, 1 in Canada, the FML. I can't pronounce the name of it, and then a deathmatch tournament in Japan. That is the end goal right there, and
5
1 in the
tournaments?
UK. 6, 1 in the UK too.
You need to aim higher. You shouldn't be so hard. You need to aim a lot higher than that. Wow, that's crazy. I like to hear that. I mean, what about I've been to about 6 of these. Well, I've been to every TOD, if you can believe it or not, because if you don't know where we live in Smyrna, Delaware.
Yeah.
And that's where all like the Breakaway Tavern, the Bulldozers, the Field, Dovers, the Mondo, Zandig Bump, and DJ's Farm is about 15 minutes from us.
I've never been to the farm.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, out of all the TODs that I've been part of during my tenure for CZW, I've never been to the farm yet.
We're a lot of CZW history where we're at.
Yeah.
Like Mike was saying, we're 15 minutes from the Zandig Mondo bump. We're 5 minutes from the Tournament of Death 3 location with Sexy Eddie with the blood.
Oh yeah.
I did see that, like one of your videos, like going around to every location and like explaining the history behind it. I really like those.
Wait, did you see the history of CZW in Delaware with Luke Hadley did it, DVLH. We went to the building and all those. We went to different places. You like those?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad you saw that.
Yeah. We love Combat Zone. You know what I mean? We've been going to it for a long time. Mike's been going to it since '99. I started in 2002. So we've been following it for a while. It was you only had your exclusives at CZW. You would only see Ruckus. You would only see
Wife beater,
Zandig. You have to wait a month.
I know.
It's a good
It's coming back.
It's coming back. It's coming back. It's gonna be. It's number one. It's gonna continue being number one.
See,
From the best deathmatch
right.
wrestling out there.
And this Twisted Metal, there's going to be people watching, finding like in Japan. There's people that want to see this. This is a big thing. Everybody's talking about it. I mean, it's a big show to be on, and that's lucky that he's on that because you could be on a real small deathmatch tournament. I like Carnage Cup. What do you think of Carnage Cup?
I think I seen Carnage Cup. It's cool. Never really delved into that and everything, to that part of deathmatch wrestling. So, but I'm always open to looking forward to new death matches and everything. So,
oh, for sure. But yeah, like I was telling DJ, this tournament, Twisted Metal. I mean, this show, Twisted Metal. It's like, you know, it's something different. I don't think they ever had a show in a junkyard where the fans can come. And you know, a lot of the fans always talk about Zone 23 in Mexico, and they're like, "Oh, you know, we wish."
I did see Zone 23 and everything. No, this could be a huge door opener too for, like, you know how we have our Limelight shows in Maryland. Well, then if this show goes well, then hey, Twisted Metal 2, Twisted Metal 3, Twisted Metal 4, Twisted Metal 5, and it could just keep going and going and going.
Yeah. Like best of the best.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We've been to the Limelight. I'm going to go to the one on Sunday. I'm going to follow up and go to that one. Interested in Joan Oliver's, you know, Matt comeback, but we like it. Yeah, no, I know.
Good.
You guys should watch my match with Griffin McCoy at CZW Limelight. It was crazy.
It was a good one. It was a good one. And that was last month, right?
Yeah, it was last month where I got T-bone suplexed onto a chair, and I was surprised that the chair didn't break.
Oh.
And people thought I broke my neck and everything too.
You're right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So how's it going to feel being with these hardcore legends? You got Remington Roar. We interviewed him. He's way wild. Somebody who else is coming in?
You got
Schlack.
Darko, Schlack.
Oh yeah, Darko from England.
From the UK.
I'm gonna give Schlack a big hug. I haven't seen that guy in a while. No, Schlack is literally my favorite person to be around. Once when TOD's season starts and everything. Mm-hmm. I've been watching a lot of Judge Joe Dredd videos on Instagram, and the dude is amazing at his promos, and it's really good. Who else? I've been, watching a lot of Mickey Knuckles stuff for reasons. Odin, I've seen some of his stuff. I try to keep up on everybody, but then it's like you can tell when it's like, okay, that's enough wrestling. I need to put the computer down, put the laptop down, and then do something else for a while. That's kind of like my whole mindset is, because if I keep watching it, I'm going to start critiquing it.
God,
so yeah. So
absolutely.
Well, I want you to get sleep on Friday. Don't be up squirming around all night watching tapes.
Yeah, we're looking forward to your match. Bradley, Ross, Mickey, and you. You guys are going to kill it.
Thank you.
Bobby Beverly's on the show. Bobby Beverly, Lucky 13, Schlack. It's just big names. The whole world's going to be watching.
Lucky 13 is a good guy to watch too, and everything. Not only his death matches, but his junior weight matches too. They're crazy. But no, it's really Darnie Darko literally just is a guy that interests me too. Coming from the UK, I really wanted to go on that European trip too. But just life stuff happens, and I recently started a new job too. So
okay.
So maybe next year.
No, for sure. That's awesome. So what do you do when you're getting ready for the sets match? How are you going to prepare for it?
I I literally just well, first I watch tapes and I just take notes, and I've seen videos of like the junkyard and everything. And just to get into my mindset, just to turn into Nicco Gray, I just literally just put on like opera music and just stare at a wall. That is
Whoa.
literally what I do my entire match, because I kind of look at my type of matches of like brawling as an art piece. Like, oh, okay, let me just hit you in the face right here. Oh, then here's the fucking map. Boom. And then, oh, I'm gonna sit you in this chair and just keep elbowing you and elbowing you and elbowing you. So
I'm excited about his match more than anything because we had never
sure.
seen a guy do that. I mean, he's coming out of nowhere, but he sounds prepared
Oh yeah,
and trained. DJ giving you any advice?
yeah, don't take cinder blocks to the head. I'm like, motherfucker, I want a match with you with cinder blocks to the head.
Oh, the cinder block to the head warning.
yeah.
Yeah.
He told us about that.
Yeah.
No, I will go on record, and I told DJ to his face too, and he knows it. I want to be the official person to retire DJ, like finally retire him.
Oh wow.
What did he say? He might do it. He might wrestle. One more.
Well,
match.
let me.
One more match, DJ.
He said, "Well, let me drop a couple pounds, Nicco." So
Okay.
Okay, yeah, it might
Oh.
happen. But yeah, a lot of breakout stars at Combat Zone Wrestling. Like I brought up earlier, you had Danny Havoc, you have your Chris
Mhm.
Cash, you have name after name. So yeah, we're gonna be watching your match, and hopefully Nicco Gray is gonna be the next breakout star that comes out of Combat Zone Wrestling.
oh,
Yeah.
you already know it.
Mike,
Because I already because I want that CZW belt too. Like
Oh.
since day one, it is literally it's the company that made me fall in love into wrestling again, and just winning that CZW heavyweight championship is going to be probably my end all be all. And then after that, defending it, and then it's on to the next chapter of my life then.
That's great.
that's a good goal. Yeah, I mean that CZW has lineage and history behind it, and it's a good history.
Oh, for sure.
And we've been through it the whole the years. I mean, I've seen every champion. Yeah.
One more question I have for you. What is your dream match? Like if you could, wrestle anyone from the past, present, or future, past or present, who would it be?
My dream match would be Pro Wrestling's bastard son, Nicco Gray, versus the Callahan Death Machine, Sammy Callahan.
Oh, okay,
that's a
okay.
good one.
Did you ever see Sammy Callahan versus Drake Younger hour-long Iron Man match?
Yep.
We were there. Were you at that?
I was on.
I was at that. That's Drake's favorite match.
I was not there for it. I watched it on iPay-per-view. It's really, really good.
Oh, it being there is like, I don't know how they lasted that long. Went around the ring, just kept going on and on and on. That's Drake's favorite match, even more than winning titles and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with the one Sammy versus Adam Cole. I think it was CZW's rules match or a no holds barred match. It was one of those type of matches and everything too, and that was good too.
Yep, I remember when Sammy first came to CZW. I think Toby brought him in.
Yeah.
Toby put a word out for him, and he came in and he was impressive right from the beginning. And they kept him, and they kept bringing him back. Ohio group. Yep.
Yeah.
Tell them how many minutes because things
3
are
minutes.
going.
Yeah. Anything you would want the fans to bring? Anything you expect from the fans?
CZW fans, they're gonna bring the craziest shit ever, like weapons wise, alcohol, just it's unbelievable. Well, but no, I think that like CZW fans is what keeps us going. And we thank them. We can't get enough of them, and we thank them to the bottom of our hearts and everything. And to you guys and to everybody out there, thank you for supporting us through like all this time and everything. Like we've been radio silent through pandemic, and there was a lot of speculation. It's like, hey, are we done? You know, did we close? No, as soon as we brought back the new logo and everything, it just caught on like wildfire. Like, we're not going away, and we're not gonna let this company close.
Well, good.
But
I'm glad you got a good locker room there working together. It seemed like everybody in that locker room that we saw. I mean, we went to the dojo. They really want to be there. They worked. Seems everybody was like, "I'll do this. You need me to do this." Seemed like a good group, didn't it? Seemed like a good group.
Absolutely.
No assholes in there at all. I could tell.
Everyone was cool.
Nah. No, we all pull our own weight to keep this company afloat, and that's we want the end goal. The end goal is to have CZW the #1 wrestling company in the world.
Okay.
Well, and it's you guys are gonna make it happen. That's August 5th, Westville, New Jersey, 2 p.m. start time. They're not gonna stream it live, but it will be recorded and it will be streamed.
Yeah.
Day. Combat Zone Wrestling, Twisted Metal, Nicco Gray wrestling Christian Ross, Chris Bradley, and Mickey Knuckles. And what kind of death match is it?
I don't know.
No, it's going to be bloody. It's going to be violent.
It's going to be It's going to be flight tubes everywhere. You
know, God,
I'm going to probably jump off of a car or a car stacker. You never know.
Well, he seems excited to be in it. This guy wants to be in this show.
Oh, absolutely, and it's gonna be a wild one. Combat Zone Wrestling, Twisted Metal. Anyone watching this, bring light tubes, bring weapons. These guys are gonna go crazy. Delaware Mike and I will be there. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna be watching the violence, and Nico's gonna breakout star. CZW breakout star. Nicco Gray. You have anything to add?
Nope. We're almost done.
We're Combat Zone Wrestling, CZWWrestling.com. Get your tickets. Nicco, you have anything else to say?
When I won this match, it's TOD, that TOD trophy, and then it's going to be Nicco Gray versus Rich Swann for that CZW championship.
Okay.
Fans, you heard it here first. Nicco, thank you so much for being on here with us. We will see you
guys.
Saturday.
Gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill. You cannot stop me, I'ma make it to the top spicy. Call a covenant, not cocky. You cannot break me, this world's mine for the taking. Got an inch, man, I'm making. I'll keep my head down and grind and be patient. I'll take a stab at the top and the sailing. They can all try, but you cannot contain it. Cause I see the things that I want and I take on my goal. Push myself to the brink, no limit. Do what it takes to be free, committed. I'm a little obsessed with things, I'll admit it, but that's what it takes to